Hello and welcome to the Everyday Joy podcast. I'm your host, Joy Ravella. Today's conversation is all about handling the past, both your own past and handling the past of someone else who's chosen to confide in you. Let's get into today's verse.
I know that I still have a long way to go, but there is one thing I do. I forget what is in the past and try as hard as I can to reach the goal before me. Philippians 3:13 from the ERV.
Before we get into today's conversation, I just want to pop in and say thank you for choosing to listen to this podcast. And if you haven't already, would you like, subscribe, follow, because that really does spread the word out there and allows more and more people to be a part of this community and, most importantly, discover God's love and His joy. Thanks in advance. Let's get into today's conversation. So here in studio with me again today, I have Jackie. Jackie, how are you going?
I am fantastic, Joy. How are you?
I'm doing well. How is the new house going? You settling in well and kind of created your little nooks and spaces?
Yep, settling in well. We have the library up now, which is just fantastic.
Okay. Are we talking like a wall or a room?
We're talking a wall. There's a hallway in the house, the new house, that kind of went to a sort of a dead end with a little window.
Yeah.
We bought 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we went out and got a 5th bookshelf.
Are all of these bookshelves filled, or is this now your next thing to slowly start filling all the spaces in the bookshelf?
I think there's about 2 shelves that are not filled.
That's good. Well done. Might have to swing by your library and borrow some books.
Anytime. We have everything from Enid Blyton through to Spurgeon.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes. Well, today we are taking a look at Philippians 3:13, which is a lot about knowing where you need to go, knowing that it's a long way away, but also knowing that you can't go there as long as the past is clinging on to you. I think that's how I see it. Like, I literally visualize someone running towards a finish line and there's like this bungee jump cord wrapped around their waist and they're trying to run, but their past is just pulling them back. That's what I think envision or think about when I see that verse. What about you, Jack?
I have to be honest, and again, I don't know why I struggle with them on my first reading. Anyway, it gets better as time goes on. I kind of have that first reaction of, well, is Paul actually wanting me to forget my past, or is he actually just telling me that, to let go of it?
Yeah, because those are two different things.
Yeah, two very different things, particularly when, like, for myself, because, I wasn't, I didn't become a Christian. I didn't start going to church really until I was in my early 30s. So, I lived a very full life, very full secular life up until that point, particularly, when I was in my late teens, early 20s. I left Australia. I went backpacking. I lived overseas. I did all these things. And while I may not be proud of every moment, those collective experiences have made me who I am today. So if Paul is telling me, forget that they ever happened, and now you've got to be this like really good, godly person. And I would struggle with that.
Yeah.
Because I think, I had these experiences. They actually brought me to God. They actually, to my thinking, make my relationship with God a lot deeper and a lot more meaningful, because I look at that and I think, my past doesn't inform my future. And I think that's the essence of what Paul's trying to, communicate, is that you have this past and it's, it's there, but now and but God, here we go. We have this beautiful future.
Right.
Awaiting it, but for the, joy set before me.
Yeah.
I'll run the race. All of that kind of thing. So I think what he's actually saying is, no, you can have this radical acceptance of who you are, where you've come from, what you've done, because that acceptance is mirrored by God.
Yeah.
When I say radical acceptance, that the radical bit is letting go of that shame, is letting go of that regret, and saying, no, I had these experiences. It doesn't affect my value as a person. It doesn't affect the way I live my life now. It doesn't affect the decisions I make, but I was that person.
Yeah.
And, I was just as loved by God then. I didn't know him. I hadn't met him yet the way I know him, or, I'm still coming to know him, but he was there. And he was in those moments. I just didn't realise it. Just as he has a radical acceptance of me and sees me through a Jesus lens, I can do the same thing to my past and let go of all that shame.
Yeah. A little side question here. For those of us who maybe don't have a past or something that we're trying to move away from and step into a new future, but we know someone who is maybe, how best can we as a body of Christ, how can we as friends and believers support and love and encourage someone in that space?
Oh, that is the best question ever. And it's actually like one of the things that I love finding in a church and finding in a community of people is that, again, radical acceptance of where people have come from, of where they're at, what their capacity is at the moment, and it's showing the love. It is being Jesus to people. It's that radical love that says, I don't care. You could have walked in off the streets doing goodness knows what, and I'm going to sit here, I'm going to listen to you, I'm going to look you in the eyes, I'm not going to gasp, I'm not going to gossip afterwards. No, it's actually being Jesus to that person in that moment and saying, you know what? I don't care. I think you're awesome. I've had friends when, I've confessed things and they've just said, oh, that's great. Love you.
How did that feel when they said that?
Amazing.
And what were you expecting?
Judgment. Particularly like if you grew up in church maybe, or even when you've come fresh in and you see all these good, in inverted commas, Christians, and you think, oh, I'm going to be judged. I'm going to be judged hard because, and when you don't get that, it's like this little shift, this little seismic shift in your perception, in your cognition of something where you kind of go, oh, I'm actually okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm accepted. It doesn't matter. And it is that reflection of God and God's love towards us as well.
Let's say, for example, you had a different response from your friend, just hypothetically speaking, because you've obviously found yourself a beautiful community of believers who accepted you and loved you and reflected Jesus. But many times that's not what happens. What do you think would have happened to you if your friend responded with judgment or gossiped or scrunched up her nose a little bit and just said, oh, okay?
I think that has a long-term effect. I think we don't know, we can sometimes forget the effect that has on people, particularly when they're new Christians. And I think it would have shut me down. I really think it would have. It took me a long time and it took me a lot of half conversations about things to get to the point where I would be so open with somebody, and I learned to trust. And I think that's key as well, is it can be quite confronting to somebody else if you just meet them and then confess everything.
Yeah.
I think that you can learn to do that, and you can certainly find the people by having smaller conversations about different things, where you get a sense for where they're at in their ability to display that radical acceptance.
Yeah. So it looks like we've got a responsibility either way, like a responsibility to accept and to let go and to move forward. And if you're not that person, man, you have got a powerful responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
To make sure that for those who are doing and living out this verse and doing their best, that we are loving them, not judging them. Because like you said before, if the response had been different, man, your life, I don't even know if you'd be sitting here in this room.
Well, exactly. Because, and particularly for somebody who is new into the church, new into their belief, newly accepted Jesus, the people that they talk to are literally representing Jesus for them. And they don't have that capacity to view that person as separate from that experience.
Philippians chapter 3, verse 13. I know that I still have a long way to go, but there is one thing I do. I forget what is in the past and try as hard as I can to reach the goal before me. The truth is, we can't see on the outside how hard someone is trying to break free from their past and step forward. How are you going to apply this verse today? Are you going to radically accept your past and step into the forgiveness and hope God has for your present and future? Or are you going to choose to love and care for that person who's on the journey of pressing forward? Let us let God do the judging. And let's be aware of the fact that our words and actions could be the filter through which new or returning believers see Jesus. Let's never forget the power and impact that we have on the way other people perceive God. Well, that wraps up today's conversation on the Everyday Joy podcast. There's no specific application today, I suppose, just food for thought. However, tomorrow's episode has got lots of practical elements to it. I cannot wait. If you want to get in touch, the email is below. Catch up again tomorrow.